Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the 2025 Booksellers Association Conference. Thank you for being here. Welcome to everyone who's here. Welcome to everyone who's watching online. There are so many of us here that even those of us who are here have been watching online at times. So those of you now at home, you're in good company and we're excited to have you with us. My name's Nic Bottomley. I'm a bookseller. I'm the co-owner, together with my wife Juliet, of Mr. B's Emporium of Reading Delights in Bath, and I'm also the executive chair of the BA Group. Today, though, I'm your conference chair, and therefore, most vitally, I'm your golden ticket to making it to the right session, at the right place, and the right coffee break, most importantly of all, and the right snacks. I'll do my best to get you there on time. First of all, a big thanks to this whole bookselling community for spending the time to be here. There are 470 of us passing through Hinckley Island over these 2 days. That is the most since, I don't know, like records began, or however we would term it. 470 booksellers. It really begs the question that all booksellers ask from time to time: who's on the shop floor? I take our presence as a sign of our industry's resilient health. There is no doubt that everyone in this room has more immediate things to do than eat chicken with fellow booksellers and to listen to the array of incredible speakers that we've got gathered with us today. But immediate isn't everything, and if you're here, then you know it's not about the chicken. It's about the conversations before, during, and after the chicken. And it's about finding out that someone else is doing something brilliant to solve a problem that you've been wrangling with and that you can take away. And I think in 2025, it's probably also about confirming that everyone else is deeply concerned about the state of the world, particularly perhaps most recently the erosion of free speech, but that they too have no ability to resolve that, nor any time to think about how to resolve that, because first of all, that display needs changing, and those books need reordering, and the bookshop needs making better in 100 different ways. Today, we're going to see how vital and powerful bookshops can be against all odds. And we're going to hear that in the words of many of the booksellers who are going to be on this stage. We're going to hear it from your BA president, Fleur Sinclair. We're going to hear it from Nadia Wassef, the creator of Divan, who's here from the bookstore in Cairo. We're going to hear it from Mahmoud Mouna, who's going to join us live from East Jerusalem this afternoon, from Ross Bradshaw of the inspirational Five Leaves, and Mary Oliver of the equally inspirational Lighthouse Bookshop, and many, many more besides. And then, inspired and probably slightly in awe, we're going to hear from some people who will help us do the things that we have to grapple with every day. We'll learn from one of the most vital proponents of the High Street, Mary Portas, and then in skills labs covering so many different topics, we'll glean best practice and new ideas from expert peers, and we'll fill those notebooks with so many ideas we don't know what to do with it. First-time delegates, welcome to you especially. There are 100 of you. It's probably not true. I actually never checked with Miriam exactly what the number of new delegates is, but truth is elastic. But truth is elastic these days, and there's certainly a lot of you. And I'd like to thank you for bringing your intrepid new voices to our gathering, and welcome equally to the returners. Be prepared to share what you've learned since last time. This summer, because like every single one of you, I am in my own way an enormous geek, I read Ken Kaufman's Kingbird Highway, one of the greatest birdwatching and hitchhiking memoirs ever written. He described the inaugural conference of the ABA, the American Birding Association, which took place in the mid-1970s, and he found himself gate-crashing it. And he said it had a tone that was dignified but fun, civilized but adventurous. We may not be able to pull off dignified, but I think the rest is within our grasp. So let's see how it goes. I'm insistent on having books on this stage, by the way. I'm going to have a few books at various points today. Right. Before we try, let's acknowledge the teams and the sponsors who make it possible for us all to be here and to enjoy this programme. It all began yesterday, for which huge thanks to Gardeners for the trade show, and not to mention their sponsorship of bookseller attendance here at the conference, to HarperCollins and the incredible Yung Chang for the afternoon tea, the Independence Alliance and all of their incredible authors for the conference dinner, and to Batch and National Book Tokens for the drinks reception. Can I get a round of applause for all those people? And thanks in advance, or in very recent past in one case, for today's sponsors, many of whose food and drink and generosity we're yet to enjoy. So to Bloomsbury and their authors for the author breakfast, to bookshop.org for tote bags and skills labs, to DK for the notebooks that you will have found on your seats, to Libro FM for sponsoring the morning coffee break, to the Baillie Gifford Prize for lunch, to bookshop.org for sponsoring the skills labs, to the Women's Prize Trust for this evening's drink reception, and to Pan Macmillan and their authors for tonight's dinner. Applause again. A last few thank yous in advance, if I may, to everyone at this hotel for their support in making this such a smooth-running event, despite a lot of technical trickery. And on the subject of technical trickery, to our indefatigable AV team, CPS, for all of their work to make all of this happen and all of the streams happen. And to Grace and to Jacqueline, our interpreters, who have to put up with my unwillingness to stick to a script. Or even provide a script, and to everything else about to be thrown their way. If you're struggling at any point to remember the flow of today, then ask. If you haven't already downloaded the app, you'll have received an email with instructions on how to do it, and you remember you can use it to view the program, to work out where you should be or wanted to be. The app is called Guidebook, and the password, you just have to think back to breakfast. It's BaconF25. Or that might be BAConf25. If you'd like an up-close look at a few key bookseller services, there's a couple of things I just wanted to point out. Nielsen IQ Book Data are going to be running drop-in sessions all day in conference room 14, and the team from Batchline are running drop-in sessions until 2 p.m. in conference room 12, so that's going on all day. We've got a morning of talks ahead of us, then we've got publisher fever pitch sessions, lunch, 2 skills lab sessions, and then a return of this room to wrap it all up, hand out some awards before drinks, dinner, and general passing out. So we've got a lot ahead. To begin it all, I want to introduce one of the finest, most conscientious, and most inspiring booksellers in all the land. Please welcome the owner of the magnificent Seven Oaks Bookshop and your BA president, Fleur Sinclair.